wanted to produce learners which will be able to think outside the box and become global citizens, so that even if they decide to go outside the country, there shouldn't be a huge gap between themselves and the students of the countries in which they will be visiting.
I think a program like this one really challenges you, stimulates you to continually grow and to make your craft better, and in the end to make education more meaningful for your students.
The Global Education Teacher International Exchange Program is a program designed by the World Affairs Council of Washington, D.C. in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation. And this program allows teachers both in the U.S. and in South Africa to collaborate for an entire year together. To be able to take that first group, the U.S. teachers to South Africa, was truly amazing. To be able to see everything through their eyes, to see them experiencing things for the first time, to see what it is that really impacts teachers as educators and professionals.
The World Affairs Council DC's mission is to be a leading institution in the provision of global education, international affairs, and global communication services to teachers and educators and students.
Seeing all these different teachers from another country coming to their classes, taking pictures. From that beginning, my students were interested in the program, and most of them, they were like, I want to be involved. They approached me, I want to be part of this. It really changed the way they think about other countries. It changed their perception, and it awakened something in them.
I had the great fortune of spending some time in South Africa and having an opportunity to look at some pieces of history and present society in South Africa that I've been able to then bring into my classroom. It has also been beneficial to my students because they've had an opportunity to engage with her students.
I've been partnered with a very experienced, highly qualified teacher, and I've learned an enormous amount from her. And so I really will bring that experience home.
We really focus on engaging students in the classroom, that you can truly have a global education without ever leaving your classroom. And the idea is that the students will be able to collaborate with each other so they can talk with students across the world in South Africa and in the US without ever leaving their classrooms.
This program has allowed me to work very closely with a South African teacher. Over the months that we've been working together, we have developed lessons that I'm teaching in my classroom and my counterpart is teaching in her classroom. And we are sharing the products of those lessons with each other's students. I was very proud of my own students taking advantage of the fact that they had a South African teacher in the classroom. For my students, they know very little comparatively about South Africa compared to South Africans about the United States. And so it was really fun for me to listen to the types of things that they wanted to know.
Through all the curriculum that the teachers are developing, they're bringing in the 10 core global education competencies that we have here at the World Affairs Council. Those include things like critical thinking, media literacy, cross-cultural awareness. And through all of their lesson plans that they're developing, they're bringing those global competencies and skills-based learning into the classroom for the students.
Global education is exactly what everybody needs to be doing because we're living in a global world. This experience has allowed me to grow professionally, and I just want my students to know that they can do anything that they put their mind to, that South Africa is within their reach.
We have a main story that Ms. Warley wants to tell.
We're all part of a global society, and our students should be able to solve global issues. They should be able to understand global issues.
For me, just being able to step back and watch her interact with my students to deepen my understanding of what's going on in South Africa since the end of apartheid. So I think in many ways I was learning as much as my students.
I changed the way I think, the way I view things, the way I view, the world, not only the way I view South Africa. So it had a great and positive impact on me as an educator, and then it has a great impact to my student as well.
I get to build a relationship with a teacher that I respect deeply, actually a community of teachers that I respect deeply, and that I'll continue to work with them in a formal and informal way for the remainder of the time that I'm a teacher.
This program has been meaningful to me because I think it's helped me to understand more my role as a teacher in the world. that I can have an impact beyond just Bullis School, beyond the 60 students I work with on a daily basis, and that I can actually touch the lives of youth around the world.
Program has inspired me, have also motivated me so that indeed I must be able to pull out so that I can be able to be a very good teacher in future. That's what I've learned a lot.
Being involved with the World Affairs Council, this was something that I wanted to do. It was real professional development in the sense that I felt like I was truly growing. I was given opportunities not just to experience a different culture, to engage with students across the globe, but to reflect on that.
Definitely when I go back to South Africa, I'm going to make sure that I assist other educators to adapt to those competencies so that our children, not only my students, but the students of the people who I'm working with are able to receive the same global competencies so that ultimately this project will expand.
The fact that this is a year-long program and there's continuous interaction between students to students and teacher to teacher, to me that just goes above and beyond typical teacher exchange programs.